Right, welcome back everybody. Today you join me here with this RXS 100, this little two-stroke Yamaha. What we're going to be doing is a will it run video. It's been sat for about a year in the garden, just abandoned really. It's just covered, it was covered in bramble, so I've just dragged it out. The back wheel was locked on a bit. I've managed to free it off a little bit, so it's a bit easier to move about. But what I'm going to do first is just whip the carburetor off, take the airbox off. We'll just give the carburetor a quick once over, and we'll bolt it back on, and we'll put a little bit of two-stroke premix in a separate container. I won't run it through the tank, we'll just go direct onto the carb. So let me get the carb off and then we'll get it cleaned up. Right then, so first of all, there's still brambles all over this bike. I'm just going to take this airbox off just to make life a bit easier getting that carb off. I don't know if there's an air filter in here or anything, so it's all new to me. I did actually pick this bike up, I say, just over a year ago now, I think it was. It might even just be over a year. And it did have nearly a 12-month MOT on it in this condition. So I don't know how it managed to get that, but it did. And it's only just recently run out of MOT in the last couple of months. Like I say, I literally bought it and just parked it up. And it was just laying in a hedge, really. It wasn't really a good storage for it. And all the brambles have grown around it. So, right, so we have got an air filter in this side. They don't look too bad. It looks pretty good actually, that air filter. Mind you, it's a bit damp in there. So I'm not sure how this airbox comes off of here. If it just pulls out or what. So yeah, it's really wet in there. A lot of condensation. Right, so that pulls off of there. Looks like there's some sort of clip strap there. I might have to take the seat off, bear with me. Right, I forgot, it's not actually a key lock on this one. It's actually two 12mm bolts to undo these seats on these. Just at the back here, and then it will lift off. So I'm just going to quickly whiz these two off. And just had a quick look underneath the seat, and I think this seat base is all rotten out on this one, so I will have to source another seat for this. I know it wanted a recover anyway because it's all ripped, but looks like the base is all rotten as well, so we'll probably just go and get another unit for that. Right, so now hopefully this should just lift off like that. There we go. Yes, that's all rotten there, look. That's beyond saving that, it's not worth messing about with that. So it looks like it's had an aftermarket cover on it before, but that's not the original cover, that. So we'll just drop that out of the way for now. And where's the top of that airbox? Yeah, that's actually hooked on with the battery strap. Let's just see if we can pull that through this side now. There we go. So just pull that off of there. I say, if you do want to see one of these on the restoration, check out my dad's channel. He's doing the other one I had of these. He's doing it on his Retro Restore channel. And he's actually just at the stage now where he's had the frame powder coated and he's starting to get bits bolted back on soon, I think. But this has got good compression on this. So what I'll do is I'll quickly just whip this screw off here. Take the carb out. We'll have to undo the petrol tank hose, which is there. The petrol tap's off, so that's a good thing. So hopefully there should be no stale fuel in the carb. Right, so that's that screw undone. Just wiggle this out. We'll take that side off first then. Just wiggle this out. Come on. There we go. So just pull that out. There we go. And I'll just pull that fuel pipe off. A bit wet in there, don't smell too clever. Carby looks not too bad, I've seen worse. So we'll just head into the old polytunnel, give this a bit of a clean down, and we'll go from there. Right then, so here we are, back in the polytunnel. I'll give that a quick wipe around. I say this is just not gonna. This is just a quick will it run video. I ain't going too mad, giving it a proper clean out. It's just a matter of just blowing the jets out and all that. See if we can actually just get the bike to run. So just get most of the crap off from the outside, so you don't introduce nothing into the carb. That'll do. Remember, these old bikes take a JIS screwdrivers, so don't forget that. Although it looks like a normal crosshead, it's actually JIS's. Right, that bowl actually looks pretty good in there. I say it probably helped with the old fuel being off, so the petrol couldn't go back into the carb. So I do know what I should have showed you actually before I actually started this video. I did actually try and kickstart it a couple of times and it didn't want to know, so I did try it on a bit of easy start without using the petrol tank, so that's why the carb's still dry. I did try it, I say, on easy start and it didn't even try and fire, so just unnip that. That is actually clean through there, you probably can't see that, but there's nothing wrong with that jet. That's lovely, that. Everything clean under there. There we go. There's a little bit of crap in that, nothing major, but that's all it takes because they're only small holes. Needle out just to check everything's alright there. Yeah, that's alright. There's a little bit of crap down there though, look. Starting to get jellified in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go grab a bit of carb spray and I'll give this a bit of a blast out and then I'll come back. Right, so I'll give that a best that I'm going to do today on that. I say it will be getting done again properly once we do actually come to rebuild this bike. Yeah, carb, we'll just put them 4 screws back in. I'll do that and I'll see you back at the bike. So the carb's back out now. It's all working as it should. It's not looking too bad for a quick blast. So what I'm going to do is we'll get it put back together and hopefully we can get a bit of a fire up out of this. I will check the plug as well. I should make sure this goes in the right way. Make sure that sits where it needs to. There we go, that's gone down now. There we go. Make sure you don't cross thread these, because it's quite easy to do that. That's it. Just get that down. Push that back in there. Like. There we go. Where's that screwdriver gone? There we go, I've got to screw this side, so I ain't got to go around the other side, that would do. Just buzz this back up. That's that done. Right, that's the throttle moving as it should. So that's alright. We'll just stick that feed back on there like that for now. It's really oily under it, it needs a good clean. I mean the oil tank is full, so that's a good sign. But I say we're just going to run a bit of premix in it, I think. I might just stick that airbox in for now. Because once we finish today it's going to be parked up again, so I don't want no stuff getting in there, unwanted stuff. We'll just try and protect it the best we can, really. There we go. Airbox cover back on there. Right, so now I'll just whip this plug out. There we go, just crack that. See what state this plug is. And we'll go and mix a bit of, oh blimey. I don't know if you can see the state of that. It's really thicky, oily around that. It's watery and a bit wet. Definitely not fuel. Let's just give that a couple of pumps. So I'm just going to go and give that a bit of a clean up, because I say that's not very healthy, that. It's NGK BR8HS, so I'm not sure if that is the right plug for it, but I say the bike was running on this, so I'm just going to give it a clean up now. It's a bit creamy and murky, so let me just clean this up and I'll be back with you. Right then, so I've given it a bit of a clean up. It's not the best, but hopefully it should get it running. Just going to check if we've got a spark first. So just switch that ignition on. I'm not sure if you'll see anything because it's quite bright out here. Yeah, we've got a good spark there. Don't know if you can hear it clicking. So I'm happy with that. So we'll get that back in. And what we'll do next is I'll get a bit of pre-mix and we'll go from there basically. Hopefully we'll get this to fire. So just make sure you can press that. You ain't got to be just too mad. Strip the threads and all that. So that's back on as it should be. Turn that ignition off. I'm just going to get a pre-mix and then I'll come back to you and we'll go from there. Right then folks, I've put a little rig on. You turn the ignition on. I've put the petrol on. I can't straighten the bar, so I've only got a short pipe, so we'll just go for now, see what happens. I'm not saying it's going to run. Right, we're getting nothing there. Just make sure we've got everything on as we need to. Ignition's on. Choke's on. Petrol leaking, yeah. Right, not a lot going on there. Right, well, after a good amount of kicks, it didn't want to know. I did try a bit of easy start down the head as well. Still didn't want to know, so what I'm going to do now is we're just going to go for a compression test on it, because I'm sure this was definitely running when I got it. Where it was running I can't remember, but I'm sure it did run. Got that many bikes, I don't know what's bloody going where. We're definitely getting fuel there, because before I put the easy start down the head, the plug was wet anyway, so we was getting fuel through the carb. We'll just see what compression we're getting. So there's nothing in that. Let me just dangle that down a minute, give it a few kicks, and we'll see what happens. Alright, let's have a look at what compression we're getting. Right, so we've done the compression test, as you see, and it was reading about 80 psi.
Yeah, but we also noticed that coming out of the exhaust stud, you've got loads of fluid coming out. I think the crankcase is filled up with fuel. Yeah, look at all that. Look, it's soaking wet. Look.
So we're just whipping the exhaust off.
Fuel that is. Did this have fuel in the tank?
Yeah, there's fuel in the tank.
Well, what's that? Probably where it's been standing. The needle valve's probably let by and filled the blinking thing up with fuel. Crankcase up with fuel. Just kick it over a few times. You know, the life out of me.
The ignition's on. It nearly fired, didn't it?
It did fire. Go on, do it again. I'll put it on. Put it on.
Oh, no.
Go on, try again. See, it's firing. Right, let's pull the shaker. Go on. keep going. Put it on full throttle. So I've turned the fuel off, so full throttle. There you go.
Oh, I'll put that exhaust back on. And there's all that. There's a
well, the chances are that the exhaust is going to be full up with fuel as well. So you can put it back on. Just bolt it back up. Now we've got it started.
Let's clean that out. Might go again now.
As I say, it could be flooding. If you've got spark and you've got compression, and it's firing at the right time, and you've got fuel.
I've got fuel. I've got your fuel.
I know it's my fuel again. So you've got it rigged up to this temporary thing at the moment. As I say, you've had the carb off and cleaned it, haven't you?
But I'll give it a quick once over, yeah, just to give it a chance.
But the damage might have already been done where it's been standing. The needle valve is obviously let fuel into the crankcase and fuel, and you'll never start it like that. You hold it full throttle, give it a kick, take the exhaust off, let it blow it itself all out. What I've done before with my RD250 when that filled up with crank oil, I take the engine out and tip the engine upside down. Or you can put an airline in the plug hole, and blow down there and get it out that way, like take the exhaust port off sort of thing and blow it out that way. There's a few different ways of doing it, but it's just one of those things that happens, as I say, with bikes when they've been standing for a long time. Always turn your fuel off.
In fact, I think the fuel was off because there was nothing in the carb bowl.
Yeah, well,
so it might have been me flooding it, trying to keep kicking.
Might have been you flooding it, could be, but it's definitely flooded.
Yeah.
Tell by the fluid coming out by the bolt, the exhaust manifold bolt. Well, as I say, it was a runner, wasn't it?
I was saying to him, I thought it was a runner when we got it, wasn't it?
Well,
it had MOT on it, didn't it?
You drove it, didn't you? Drive it? Did you drive out the road?
I can't remember.
We did start it, I remember that.
Yeah?
I'm sure you done a video on it. Of it running.
Yeah.
Don't go too mad with them. That was a typical thing back in the 80s. People tightening them up way too tight and stripping them. Stripping the bolts out, the studs out of the head. Silly things like this. To try and find one of these online, they want 30 to 40 quid for something like that.
You can have that for 60.
Second hand, eh?
You can have that one for 60.
And the one thing I can't find is the seat metal strap that goes along the bottom of the seat and around the seat.
My seat's rotten like yours was underneath.
Yeah, well, as I said, I've got that RX seat, and you can probably want, if you want to use that. Only cost you 130 quid.
Yeah. Right, should we give it a go?
Try it again. Right, fuel on.
Ready?
Try and start it, go on. Over. There you go.
Yeah. See what I do. Sounds alright though, doesn't it?
There's no tappings or bangings from the engine. The engine sounds like it's in good condition.
Sounds nice.
There's no small end rattle or anything.
So you want to buy it?
I've got one.
So we're going to leave it here for this little one. And this won't be coming up yet. I've got to get the TZR finish off first, the Piaggio NRG, and then maybe we might have a look at this one once he sourced me a few new parts. Right then, until next time, we'll see you about.